Well, good morning, everyone. Here I am in my classroom. Usually I am at home, but we have finals this week, so here I am. I just want to briefly talk. I know you've got a lot going on, and some of you are finishing up the school year as well, so I won't make this long. But you're considering 21st century learning this week, and just some thoughts about it. You should have gotten a chart that you opened up that showed interdependency, increased transparency, visibly relevant, diverse, media driven, personalized, transfer by design, data rich, adaptable. So, some of the things that we're looking at and some of the cool things about education is that there is more transparency between school and home and community with the ability to use technology. And once again, it comes back to what I've said before is that you want to use technology to enhance all of the wonderful things that you're already doing and teaching. And when you look at technology, you have to look at numerous things. So, grading programs, email communication have definitely made it easier for us to communicate with parents. Back in the day, we would try to call on the phone. Some houses wouldn't have phones, or we wouldn't have a private place to talk. And now we have, email communication. To be able to contact people and to keep them posted regularly on what's going on with grading and in the classroom and with students' behavior or academic progress. The downfall to that technology is we have to be careful about the information that we share, how we share it, and make sure that we don't violate any privacy rights related to our students. So, although it makes things easier for us, we also have to be cautious in the information we share and how we share it. But it does create this nice fluid entity between home and school. Another cool thing about technology now is that, and I've talked about this before, is that if you have students that are for some reason out of the classroom, in Southern California, we have a lot of migrant students that travel with families of farm workers and then come back. Sometimes we have students that are on home hospital due to injury and they're out of the classroom, and they may have a teacher coming to the home, but they're not connected to what's going on in the classrooms that they're currently out of. So, by using things like flipped classrooms, we can therefore have this wonderful technology that centers around the learner and makes sure that it's personalized to their needs while they're going through what they are going through until they can come back in the classroom. And it makes it so that learning isn't as isolatory. And people aren't just using, flipped classroom and online teaching for people that are injured or out for reasons like that. We're using it right now. And the cool thing is that you could be in Long Beach with me, or you could be somewhere in New York, or you could be anywhere, and we can still have our class. So this also works well to personalize instruction for people who might be in isolated areas of the country, and they can still have class and feel like they're part of a group and part of a community. Um, which also falls under adaptable. And so under Learning Centered, it says on our poster board that our digital poster board rethinks traditional teacher learner roles, learning as data holder, designer, and decision maker, nurtures role of play, informal learning, and creativity, supports wide range of academic success, defines success in terms that support learner, not schools and districts. Learner benefits from flexible, diverse, differentiated, supported models. Now, oftentimes schools will want us to differentiate instruction and do all of these things, but other times you'll come across people that are true traditionalists and who may look at informal learning or learning as play or creative as something they don't think is worthy of the classroom. And that's one of the things as a 21st century learner, that sometimes we have to fight that tide. Anybody that's creative, anybody that's in this master's program right now knows that you need time, just like I taught you, like with SketchUp and things like that. You need time to play and create and think and relax into learning. And we want to see more collaboration with students, and sometimes conversations can seem informal, and people can walk in the classroom and think people are off task when really a lot's being accomplished in a very relaxed way. And all research shows that a stressed mind uh, cannot, function in the way that we want, a mind to function. So playing, making education interesting, once again, personalizing it, learning is personalized by platform, interest, assessment results, self-selected pace. You have to teach what you have to teach, but you also have to light that fire when you see that certain kids are interested in certain things, and find ways to tie that in. And that also falls into California, specifically into our career technical education standards, and individualizing instruction to fit those students so that when they go into the workplace later, we've already been, pushing them in that direction, the direction that they want to go, that follows their interest. So, those are some things that I want you to think about. I also want you to consider diversity is very important, and equity. And we have to make sure that with our technology, that each student, that whatever we are doing, we have found a way to make it equitable for every student in our classroom. I'm going to stop there because I'm already at almost 7 minutes. I hope you're having a good work week. You know what you're supposed to do related to your assignment and your discussion board. Everybody's been very quiet this week. I'm sure you're quite busy. But email me if you need me, and consider these things. When you're thinking about what you want your classroom to look like, what you want learning in your classroom to look like, what you're willing to fight if somebody pushes. Sometimes, districts or schools may push for students to take AP classes, whether they're ready or not. And that's something that we have to consider. Is that a good fit for a student? Is that going to move them along, or is that going to be a struggle? And that's back to uh, where it says learning benefits from flexible, diverse, differentiated support models, and learning centered, away from just the district and what the district wants, but also what the student wants. So keep those things in mind, and how you're going to change up maybe your classroom next year based on what you're reading this week. Okay? Have a wonderful week. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.